Hey guys, let's do some inlay on this fretboard. Yesterday I had time to get the moon phase cut out on the CNC, and we got the head plate glued on, as you saw in the other video. See, that's looking good, huh? It's got some nice grain in there. It'll really pop once it gets a little stain on it. That'll come to life. Right? Okay, so today what we want to do is I have the mother of pearl soaking in some acetone here because I have to glue the shell inlay down to a substrate like this to run it on the CNC, because obviously something has to hold on to this little piece. And so I found the easiest way to get it off of the substrate is to resaw the mother of pearl off of the substrate, leaving a little of the substrate on there. One day I'll do a video about that. But that leaves a little bit of the substrate on the back of the mother of pearl, so we have to get it off. And if you soak it in acetone, the CA glue that I use to hold it to the substrate will come right off. And so you can just, there's the full moon right there. As you can see, this piece of substrate now has nothing on either side of it. Using a different camera today, it's not as good as the other one. The other one is in the middle of doing something else. So if the quality's not quite as good, cut me a little slack. All right, now you can see where I have the CNC cutting it goes all the way through in some places, but not quite in others. And that's a little frustrating, because then it leaves a little, really super thin piece of shell inlay that I have to deal with. And I can just sand the back of it a little bit and that'll go away, but I need to remember to set my tool path, the depth, another 10 thousandths of an inch, 20 thousandths of an inch deeper, because I don't want to have to do this. You don't want to have to clean up the edges of your inlay. It should come right off the machine ready to go. So I'm just going to sand the back of that a little bit. And that should just release that pretty well. Just need to take a little bit off of the back. That should come right off now. There we go. Still leaving a little of the waste on there, which I'm not real happy with. But I'm not going to complain. That's not the worst thing that could happen. It just leaves more work for me to do. And I don't want to have to do more work. More work is not good. So I'm going to get these broke apart and cleaned up, and then I'll get back to you, okay? Because you don't want to watch me. You don't want to have to watch this, and I'll be right back. I need a new mat. This is not very attractive anymore. That just means I've been working. So I got that one cleaned up, and luckily this stuff cleaned up fairly easily because it's just a thin layer left. And I'm just coming back and taking off the little whatnot that's left on the edge here. Steve made this X-Acto knife. It's like a little mini spear. Yeah. I lost my cherished red-handled X-Acto knife that I've had for 40 years probably. It disappeared out of my shop. I don't know what happened to it. Kind of frustrating. So you can see what I'm doing. Just taking this piece of sandpaper and working it around, putting a little back bevel on it really. like that. And then that'll drop right down in there. I gotta sharpen up the corners just a tad where the CNC don't get quite in the little sharp corner there. Everything else fits perfectly. So I'll just take the X-Acto knife and carve out just a little more right there in the points. And that'll drop right in there. Like that. See? So let me do all of these cleanups, and then we can put these in. That one fits in good. That one fits in good. You want it to just drop right in there. You don't want to have to push it. You want it to be exact fit. Maybe just a tad, I mean, we're talking a tad, a tiny bit smaller, right? So I'm going to clean up a few more of these and we'll get these bad boys glued in. Okay, I got those cleaned up, and I have a couple of extras I don't need at the moment. For those are for like if you're doing a 24 fretboard. So I had to come in here and with my little spear, and what I'm trying to do is just sharpen those 2 points. You can see how that's really sharp. And the cutter doesn't go quite that sharp up in there as a 32nd of an inch bit. 0.03125. And I could change bits and go back and get a little teeny tiny one and go in there and cut that out, but it's not really necessary because you can just sharpen it up with a little X-Acto knife because you don't have to do many of them. I don't mind doing a little hand work. It'd be great if I had a new X-Acto knife. Guess that's what I'll be buying tonight. I've put it off long enough. The old red handled is not going to show up. As sad as that may be. Okay, that fits in there perfectly now. Now, I'm just going to put a little of this medium down in the bottom. That. Didn't need that drop there. Slide this down in there. Like that. Push that down in. Need a little tiny piece of wood for that. This will work. You don't want to force these little sharp points in because they'll break off. So make sure you give them enough room to get in there. Like that. And then try to wipe off the excess. That fits in there nicely. Just like that. And give that a little just a little bit of accelerator there. And that's in there. That looks nice. All right, the next one I think I got to do the same thing with the points. These with the points on them are the only ones I got to do that with. Where did I put the spear of doom? There it is. Dang, if it had been a snake, right? I just kind of pick that point out. Like that. And try not to scratch your fretboard all up. That fits. Let's put some glue in it. This is a medium star bond. You have to say it like that. Star bond. All right. Got that one in. Make sure it's pushed in all the way. That feels good. down in there nicely. Yeah, those feel good. That's not much sanding. Pretty flush already. Now these fit in very easily, so we'll just go ahead and put some glue in these and get them in. Careful not to glue your fingers together. Ask me if I've done that before. All right, a little pop of that. I just bought some accelerator that's a brush on. I think it'll be easier for doing this kind of stuff. Looks good. And the full moon, the full lady herself. Luna. This is a pretty piece here. Man, it drops in nicely. Got just a tiny bit of play around it. I could go even a little tighter if I wanted to, but man, I don't mind that at all. That piece of mother of pearl actually looks like a moon. All right, we're rolling now, boys. A lot of prep work, but once you get it going, it's a done deal. Funny how that one was slightly tighter than the other one was. They were all cut at the same time, using the same bit and all that. It's a little odd. Got a good seat though. Yeah, that's good. All right, back to the sharp point ones. Cut this corner out. Just a little more. If you go point first, less of a chance of breaking the point. That's a little tight because it has a little bit more of the, where it didn't cut all the way through. So I'm going to take just a little off. I'm not going to try and force that in there. There you go, that'll go down in there. Let's as you can see. Now I can't get it back out. Oh no. Tragedy almost struck. You know how easily that would have disappeared into the detritus, the debris. That would have been a tragedy. Got somebody smiling down on me. Maybe the moon, since it's full today, is shining down on us and decided, since we were paying tribute to her, she would allow us to get away with that one this time. Ask me if it happens all the time. No, it does not. That looks good. Let's make sure it's seated well. One more. And I got to do that one corner right there. Already did the other one. All right, that's going to drop in there now. Last one. Oh, I think I grabbed a thin by accident. That's okay. The thin will dry so fast. Matter of fact, I'm just going to hold off on that for a second there. The thin dries too fast. It's almost instantaneous. Let's get that back in there. There we go. There we go. When it says high performance super glue super fast, is not joking. That stuff dries almost instantaneously. You have to be very careful with that one. You better have your act together before you get your bond set up. Okay. Well, that on there. And those babies look good. It looks nice. Let's see if we can just dampen it a little. Take a look at it. Isn't that pretty, guys? Very nice. You probably didn't get to see all of that because the camera wasn't set right. But you got to see some of it. All right. Okay, guys, that's that. Fretboard glued on. Inlay glued in. Now we can do the frets. And we can do all of the other good stuff that needs to go along with it. That looks cool. Nice looking fingerboard. Macassar ebony. Mother of pearl inlay. Moon phase. All right. Jim Bob, if you're watching, buddy. We're rolling now. All right. That's it for today, guys. I hope to see you soon out there somewhere in the world. And, thanks for watching, man. Thanks for subscribing. Hit the subscribe button and the thumbs up. If you have already, thank you. You're awesome. And we will see you out there. Go see some bands. Worth Guitars. Peace. Bye now.